Hi, I'm Lacey Silliard.
And I'm Brandon. This is our baby Harper. It took us a long time to get pregnant. We had tried for 6 years, and we had actually had 2 pregnancies and lost both of those and had miscarriages during both, which was really tough for both of us.
Yeah, it was kind of a whirlwind of feelings. We were really excited with our first pregnancy. We found out, kind of were shocked that we'd even gotten pregnant. And then we had just announced our pregnancy the first time when a few days later we had lost our first baby. So that kind of hit us hard. It was just a lot to take in.
We started fertility treatments and kind of did everything the doctor was telling us to do, certain diets and taking medications and stuff like that. And eventually Lacey actually ended up going to the ER because she was really sick and didn't know what was wrong, and she was pregnant again.
Yeah, so that was another shock.
So that was the second one, and that one ended up being ovarian ectopic pregnancy. So that was really tough, and
it was scary. I thought I was dying. It was awful pain, and didn't really know what to expect. And then we had emergency surgery. Sadly, there was no chance for our baby, so we had to say goodbye to our second, which was really tough. I think when you get that compound dose of heartbreak, it was really hard on us. So we kind of had come to terms that we were never going to be parents. So we looked at adoption and foster care options. And then about a year after we lost our second one, we celebrated our 7th wedding anniversary. And we must have just let loose enough to where we ended up getting pregnant a third time.
You took a pregnancy test, a home pregnancy test, and it showed that she was pregnant.
Yeah.
So we were pretty excited. And when we went in, they did the ultrasound, and there was nothing in the ultrasound.
Yeah, they just flat out said there's nothing in your uterus. So I was just heartbroken. But I was pretty insistent. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I'm pregnant. And we went back 2 weeks later, and they're like, yeah, you're right. You're pregnant. So that's when we found out we were pregnant with Harper. So for like the first 18 weeks, I had lost 18 pounds because I was very sick with her. But I was still working and just fought through it. I had to make it work.
It wasn't until about 5 months until we waited 3 months till we told anybody.
Yeah, we waited a long time.
And then 5 months, we really started to get excited about it. And
we kind of learned early on that we would have a high-risk pregnancy just with everything we've gone through. I went into preterm labor at 30 weeks, and I had no idea that I had any signs or symptoms of preterm labor. I felt fine. I was just going in for my regular checkup, and Dr. Van Stratton's like, oh yeah, you're having contractions and you're dilated.
So that was pretty scary, and they were super calming. St. Luke's and all the staff there were really awesome. They you could tell they were professionals and they'd seen this before, and they really made us feel comfortable about it. And
we ended up getting a medicine that helped Harper's lungs, and that was the best thing that we had gotten during that preterm labor at 30 weeks. They were very painful, but it was totally worth it in the end when I get this beautiful baby girl who is happy and healthy. So it was worth it.
So yeah, 35 weeks, I was working midnight shift, and it was about 11 at night. Lacey called me and said, I feel kind of weird, like maybe these are contractions. And
I wasn't sure. I don't know. So I finished my red box and I returned it and drove myself to the hospital.
We met there, and I met her down at the hospital and was able to take some sick leave, but I was on duty and headed down to the hospital, and sure enough, the doctor's like, oh, you're having a baby. And
yeah, we were completely blindsided by it. It was 35 weeks when I went in, and we had no choice. Baby was coming, whether we liked it or not. And luckily, the on-call doctor that night happened to be Dr. Van Stratton, who's our doctor, and so she got to be there for the delivery.
It was pretty fun, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it was a really good experience. Everybody at St. Luke's was awesome, and just the support that we got for just not knowing what to expect. So she was born at 5.5 pounds, and she was just super quiet when she came out. She didn't really make a noise.
Apparently she has something else to say about that.
But she didn't really scream or cry, but she sneezed. And then they gave her to me, and I just lost it. I was crying and just that first moment when you see your child is just crazy. So we really didn't, we knew what the March of Dimes was. We knew, you know, what they're all about and helping premature babies and their families. But, you know, until you actually experience like, oh my goodness, I have a preemie baby, then you kind of get more in tune with of what they actually do.
And we actually at first were really unaware that the steroids that Harper received were developed by the March of Dimes. So once we learned that from Dr. Van Straten, it was just kind of one of those moments where you're like, wow, that's huge, and it really makes you want to, you know, I think we all want to do our best to make charitable donations and do things for charity, but when it hits home like that you were able to keep your baby next to you by your side the entire time, we were out of the hospital within 2-3 days, all because of something that the March of Dimes helped develop. It was a pretty big moment for us. So.
The best thing of it was that if we wouldn't have gotten the steroid injection to help her lungs, we probably would have been stuck in the NICU.
Yeah, it should have been taken away from us, and we wouldn't. I mean, we literally got to lay side by side with her the entire time in the hospital. And do the skin-to-skin contact and all the things that, you know, make it so wonderful to become a parent. And it was all because of the drug that March of Dimes was able to develop. So
I can't imagine the other end of if you have your baby in a NICU and having to see your child just struggling to start its life.
To breathe on its own. And then we were told that the most difficult part when a preemie comes is when getting them to breathe on their own, and it can have long-lasting effects if they can't. And here we are at 6 months and super healthy and happy, and
she's just a good baby. She's that good. So we're very blessed. The biggest thing is we've lost the two, and that was hard. But she's just very unique, and we're very lucky to have her.